I just wanted to press Victor's point a bit more about, this question of punishment. I mean, the main concern one that Andrew concentrated on was this question of punishment, whether we're liable for punishment and what quantum of punishment, whether or not we succeed. And it's not clear to me that this distinction between success and trying and wrongs in that way really touches on this question. The question in the end is, are we liable for punishment? And is there a difference between success and attempt? And if you think of criminal law as being about punishment, not just censoring, but being about punishment, then even at the stage of conviction, you might ask yourself, what wrongs are we punishable for? What exactly is the wrong that merits punishment? And then it does become key whether you think success is part of the punishable wrong, or whether it's only the attempt. And so you can't, it seems to me that all of the points you've made don't really reach the question of whether outcomes or results matter for punishment.
Well, that analysis depends.
I mean, this is a question really of John.
Well, I wouldn't, for myself, give the concept of wrong such a prominent role. I know John did, and that's why it's a question for John. But it's interesting that the way you get there is through saying, well, we must define what wrongs are.
I don't think it can really be a question for me, because I just agree. And as to say, I think punishment is for wrongs, and the first dimension of proportionality is that the punishment should mirror the wrong. And then adjustments for culpability come in next.
But then you have to answer the prior, I mean, the prior question is there then, whether the actual success matters to the wrong.
Yeah, well, that was the question I was trying to get us on.
But I mean, all you have is a logical distinction between attempt and success, and that's fine. The question is whether the criminal law should utilise that.
No, right.
Nothing said so far actually speaks in favour of that.
No, I didn't speak in favour of it. I just met one objection, which is the legality objection to the criminal law doing it. There is a long catalogue of objections to meet. I'm not sure whether one needs additionally a positive argument for doing it, given that the distinction is quite pervasive in moral life, but certainly one needs to meet all the objections, of which there are many.
One might concede that it is pervasive in moral life without considering that sort of pervasive in the question of punishment. Instead, punishment is much narrower and much more.
That's right. I mean, so just to put myself on Andrew's side for a minute, I can imagine a system of criminal law that did it the Ashworth way. I would think it was a rather strange one. It lost half of moral experience at least, but it could be done. And would I quarrel with it? I suppose I would just say, why would you do that? Why don't you want to strip out this half of morality and leave the other half running? And Andrew's given a reason, but it's not a reason that satisfies me, which is why I think of this in terms of meeting objections rather than trying to present a positive case for doing it. But, so I would think it was good enough to meet Andrew's objections to doing it the other way.
But you have to have a positive case for punishment, for what it is to be punished for. Otherwise, it is just a negative case.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Well, yeah, that's right. Now, I mean, I suppose something about my positive case for punishment goes like this: that whenever there's a wrong, there's a case for punishment. Right? A case. Now, whether it should be an institutional punishment or a punishment by somebody sulking with you for 10 minutes, I don't know. And I agree that there are lots of intervening steps, like before you punish somebody, you should ask whether it was your fault and whether you were excused and justified. And so I agree all that's there. But the basic case of punishment is, here's a wrong, so now we've got the case. All else being equal until objections arise and so on. Yeah. And wrongdoing punishment is a fit response to wrong.